Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. My brain's not with it this morning, so this might be even more of a rambly type of video. Done another video last night and I was a little bit sharper for it. But anyway, let's have a look. I've got to admit, this hand's confuddled me a little bit. As I say, it's a leak that's easily remedied. If you should be open raising everything. If your hand's not good enough to raise with, then you should be folding. So easily peasy, raise it to 2.5, raise it to 2.2, even better, so 220. Take control of the hand, thin the field a little bit, don't play big, multi-way, you're going to get everyone calling. So as I say, an easy leak that's easily remedied. There we go. And you go out against two people. You get position of one, the one's got position on you. Ace high flops, any flop like that is actually a really, really good flop coming. But then you didn't raise pre-flop, so I'm thinking that you raised and you'd be raising and taking that, quite just the thing that you just limp, so it's hard to represent an ace. So I don't know, you just give up here. I'm not so sure about that Anfield. At donk level, they love an ace. They'll limp behind an ace. You've got no draw whatsoever. You're hitting, I think that was over a half pot bet. Well, it's a half pot bet with absolutely no draw against two players. I think you'll be losing money in the long run with that play. Different if you'd raised pre-flop, and you could represent the ace, which you'd have bet on the flop anyhow. But this is a losing play in the long run, and you have to follow up, and you do, and you take it down, which is good. But we're not going to be results orientated. I don't really like. I don't like your limp pre-flop, and I don't into two opponents on that sort of flop on the turn. That sort of hand on the turn of board, I think it's a losing play all in. But hey, aggression, I'll never slag somebody for being aggressive, but so well done, you took that down. And I liked how you followed up your turn bet onto the river. But don't be surprised if these donks turn up 5 times out of 6 with a bay race or even a 10 there. I don't think that's going to win you much money, that sort of play in the long run. Here, pre-flop, I think 7s is too strong to limp behind, especially against limpy, dimpy types like this. I think you have to raise. You need to take control of the hand. You're going to be out of position, so maybe even you're bumping it up even more. Maybe give it a big 3 times, or raise it up to 450, 475 even, because you don't want to play out of position. Remember, you've already got 150 chips in. Their thing, you have to. I don't mind just set mining with that. But I think that's actually the weak option. I think you should be taking control of the hand, be raising it up. But the call's not too bad, but it's probably not too good either, really. It's not aggressive enough. So now you're just at the perils of them. Again, I'm really unsure what you're trying to represent there. It worked like the other hand, which is good, but I think that's in losing, betting into 2 people on a draw heavy board. It's different if it was the river when all the draws but so many of them will still call you with any of the draws on the board like that when you're betting the turn. I think you can get away with it on the river, but there I don't think you're going to get many folds really. But you did. But hey, we're not results oriented. I suppose I don't. Well, I do quite. I don't like it, shall we say? But you'll find in your time that play just exactly the same as the last hand. I don't think your bets, and maybe make it a bit less. This half pot, it's no good when you're going to get called so often. But hey, the way you'll see Anfield is you never get called, so that's good. But I don't think it's in the long term. I don't think it's going to give you much. But I'd like to talk more about these two hands because they are they're funny. They're funny situations. As I say, raising pre-flop on both would have changed the situation somewhat. So you got yourself into funny wee spots there. Hey, you got that out of them, but I don't think it's the tight aggressive. I think you're flapping about a bit about. But all in is good. It could have been worse. You could have just folded meekly moved away. But there is quite a lot of discussion on them, really. Let's see what we do here. Here, he calls, you've got to bump. I would actually just be, I would probably just shove him here, to tell you the truth. He's got 22 big blinds behind. You can't just call. Remember, you've got position on him. Don't let anyone who limps my small blind gets it in the thing. I think you've got to bump this up to 450 at least. No, you have to raise that. Bet. Good. I say you get yourself into situations, Anfield, but you seem to be getting out of them quite well. Min raise. Queen 8's more than good enough to. Oh, we like this. Again, I think again, like we said earlier, you're raising more with your bigger hands and less with your weaker hands, which is a tell. Again, you should be having a sort of standard sort of raise size here, like 3-2-2 or something. And with aces, he's got he's not really a reship stack, but definitely too big. You want to try and encourage, you want to look weak even, and you want somebody to maybe sort of re-thingamajiggy you. But I don't like that sizing at all. He has call more. Right here, just as ever, just see better, half pot it. Nothing wrong with that. But I would try and make all your pre-flop raises the same size, Anfield, and don't do it depending on hand size. And then, as I say, it just makes you harder to read. Because there's nothing to suggest that you don't raise more with your bigger hands at the moment, and I'd have picked up on that eventually, will you? Easy fold, nice. A lot of dongs would have called that. That's quite an interesting one. If you had more chips and you didn't have the big horrible stack behind you, you could, but he's not prone to raise, so it is an easy fold. Oops. Easy fold, Anfield. You don't want to be, the script. Small blind, you don't want to be playing hands out the small blind. Like, he's only actually playing, no, he's not playing much at all, so it's not as if he had 3 times, if he had the same sort of size stack as you, maybe, even then it's still bad, but no, just calling there's pretty bad. And you don't want to 3-bet him, because he's going to have to ship you, and you're going to have to fold. But yeah, definitely you should just be folding that. 90%, 100% you should just be folding that. And depending on the stack sizes, whatever, you could be through. If you had a shorty behind you, you could just shove the thing on him. But as played at the moment, definitely a fold there. And there we go. That's why you don't play out the small. That's why you don't play out of position, because you're never hitting flops hard enough to thingamajiggy. Don't be conned by ace 2 being suited. Remember, it's your position at the hand. So I think we're starting to see. I think you're still playing too much out the small blind, and you're not raising. You're open limping still, which is not good. But easily remedied. I mean, after watching this video, they'll be in your head. So it'll slowly get things you get. Very good. And I suppose we just give up here. Oh. Well, as I say, again, Anfield, it's you're betting, you like this turn bet, but see on boards like this, where it's like two hearts, queen nines, you're not going to get enough folds. People are at this level are going to hang about to see the river with too many speculative hands, and in effect you could have the best hand at the moment, but yet in a way you'll probably be, not turn it into a bluff, but you've actually got showdown value. You actually want to try and just get to the river as cheaply as you can, maybe bink another 4, maybe hit a 2. So there you don't really want to bet. Now what you want to do, you should be betting again. As I say, you just want to get to the river as cheaply as you could. I don't think he was bluffing there at the end either. Fold. Oh, good. Phew. I suppose this is the big stack you mentioned to me earlier. Well, got no complaints here. I think it's a bit big though. At the moment, I'd say 450. I know it's only 2.5. But you've got to think to yourself here, Anfield, you are actually only playing a 30 big player. I would actually be tightening up here a wee bit. And min raise is fine. I just be min raising and folding really to anything. I don't think you want to start by putting too much in. But min raise is good. But I suppose it's not bad all in. I would probably let this one go. I say you don't really want to be bleeding too many chips, but you can actually min raise fold is a good strategy at times like that. But let's see how the things. I remember I mentioned to you on Facebook about the thing, but I didn't actually realise as I say, min raise is different to the 2.5 there. You tell me one thing, then do another. Anyway, we'll just play. Right here, he's got 40 bigs. No, he's got next to nothing. Here, it could be a shove. It could be a fine. Let's just pause this and try something. Right, I don't have my push full thing. I think it's just quite an easy min raise, and but then you've got a reship stack behind you there. He's got the perfect reship stack. I would probably just be folding because of the reship stack behind me, and he has shown a little bit of aggression. But looking at the even if you get 20 big blinds and you're on the button, King 5 suited, is this the one? Push fold chart with antes. You're shoving King 5 suited, King 10 offsuit, so you get King 9, so okay, fold is good. But if he had 10,000 chips and he had 10,000, we're both playing quite passive, then easy, min raise, fold to any aggression. Right. Okay, we like the fold. What's he doing? Easy. Here, you've just got to put them all in there. In fact, we'll look at the thing. We're playing effective stack, so remember we're playing his stack. So he's got an effective 12 big blind stack. Effective 12 big blind stack, and you're in the small blind. 12 big blinds, there we go. I think that's just any queen suited. I don't use these charts, these are new to me. Usually I make my own up. But you're shoving 71%, so your queen things well. You're shoving jack 5 offsuit and above, so queen 7 suit as well. You're shoving 7, well, basically it's an easy shove. Easy shove. You missed a wee spot there. I'm not liking whatever he's doing. I just don't like whatever this fella's doing. I'd like to spend more time and see what he's up to, but I suppose we're not bothering with. Well, let's just see. I bet he turns up with absolute shit. There we go. Terrible. This should be interesting. Easy shove. Oof. Oof. Hey. Easy peasy. This looks less easy, this one, so let's think here. You get 2 reship stacks behind you. I don't mind the fold. More aggressive people would, well, let's have a wee look. Well, you can't shove because the big stack, I mean, you don't want to thing with jiggy. You could min raise and then I think probably a safer way about things is really, you don't want to get any funny spots. They've got 2 stacks, 12 big blinds, easy reshipping on you. I think min raise and calling against this guy, calling off if he ships. Min raise, and remember, before you do anything at poker, you need to have a plan. So before you raise or do anything with this hand, you've got to think, you've got to see these stack sizes here, and you've got to think, if I'm in raise, I'm going to call him if he shoves. I think that's a good enough call. This guy, I'm not really seeing enough, but again, I would be folding to him possibly at the moment, and obviously for a Mario thing which gives you, then you're folding. But folding seems a bit weak, but with stacks considered, I think it's possibly the way to go. No, doesn't mind. Possibly a min raise and then a fold to either of these two could be maybe a profitable play in the long run. Right there, again. Now let's take it back. So effectively you've got what's that, 18 big blinds, 3,000 thing. So it's 18 bigs. And you get king 10 on the button with 18 bigs. It'll be tight. King 10, it's the bottom of your thing. I would just be min raising and calling it off via him, and probably you would have to fold via him, but just min raise it. Call with, remember, having a plan before. You're min raising, you don't want to just min raising and go, oh fuck. You be min raising and calling it via him and folding to a shove from him. But as I say, king 10 was just right on the line. I bet you'll be above his range here. Aye. And that would actually play down that way, wouldn't it? But hey, we're not oriented. See, just mega donk there, and he seems decent enough to know that this guy's good. Shite, sorry. Then again, he might just be getting hands. Quite interested to see how this one goes. Oh, the donk's going to win this. The donk's going to win it. Yep. He's just getting hands. There we go, and Donk's back in play. Now, if folded to there, you would just be folding, obviously. Here. Okay, so that's good. We'll not look at. I was going to see what you do if such and such happened. So what we got? We've got sort of 22 bigs. And you've got a mega donk. See here, I suppose you have to just call. Aye, if you'd less chips, you would be shipping them. But that's probably a leak of mine, getting hands like this in again, because he would call me with like a naked king, king 5 and crap, and so I wouldn't advise shoving, but we'll see how this one plays. But this guy here, definite. Unsurprisingly, at this level, a definite mega donk. No. Here we go, Anfield, you're doing it again. You're bluffing into people that can't be bluffed. Aye, but as I say, I'll never slag you for having aggression. It's good, but I think you need to start thinking about your bluffs better. You don't have to win every pot that you're in, but again, it's if you weren't bluffing, then that's a bigger problem because it's harder to get over. But I see, he's somebody that doesn't like to give up too much. Fold that. Yep, good. A lot of people wouldn't. Here, because of the stack sizes, you have to fold. Again, you could nothing wrong with min raising and calling it with him because there's enough in the pot to worth stealing. I don't know if I would do it with Jack 8, but with something like King 8, I would min raise and call a shove by him because the odds would work out quite good. But you get this, you're bootstrapped with this horrible player behind you who's got you covered. So basically, your options are somewhat limited. Just check. He doesn't do much folding, that man. Yeah, I can't say anything about that one. It's horrible when you get some. That actually ruins my game when there's such a limpy git in early position there. Here we can't do anything. 7 could, even if we had a flush, it might even be good at the end. He picked up a few things. Again, you can't bet against these people because no fold them, hold them. The clue's in the title. They don't like folding. Okay, we'll make this a half an hour one. Right here, this is interesting. It's an easy ship here. You just be getting this in, but let's count it up. Effective stack of, we'll say 12 bigs. What we've got, Queen 9 on the button, 12 bigs, Queen 9, Queen 6 suited, shoving Queen 9 offsuit, so Queen 9's an easy shove there. Bang! You missed a spot there, Anfield. Say, don't get it, done that with aces and things here, and you think, well, look, I saved money, but we're talking long term, not this individual hand. And you'd have not bad equity against these calling rays. Alright, so that, as I say, as the chart suggests, it was an easy shove. know, he's just horrible. He's just ruining everything. Here we go. Right, big stack, raising, hold, the right call. How did you get up to 11,000 chips there? Is it missed hands? Pause it. Right, I don't know what's happening. We'll take it back to about here. I don't think we've seen this hand. And let's just count it. 12 bigs. Big blind, small blind, 12 bigs. Remember, these are not written hard and fast rules. They're just, I mean, it depends. It doesn't account for your the blind's going to be in your next. It doesn't account for the level of staff. It assumes that all players are playing correctly, which they're not. It's a 9-8 suited, 9-3 suited, easy shove. I think this is where you maybe go. Oh no, absolutely, just horrible. What you gonna do now? Ship it. I'd have just shipped them there, but it was pre-flop, was really bad at Anfield. Ship. I got a coffee after this and I'm a bit fresher for the next part. Maybe we can race through it when the blinds are whatever, but we'll just take it as it comes. Fold. Joshua should be in front here, but did he just limp call, did he? I think he did, but hey, we don't care about him. Shove, right. Well, let's just double check that before we go. So you're playing at 10 big blinds, 20, 21 big blinds. It's possibly, is that right? 5,000. Right. So you get 21, say 22 bigs. I think the charts would say that 20 ace. There's no where are we? We are on the button. We're on the button. We're on the button. Button. I would say it's possibly again, I'm not a fan, because the thing is, if you're called, you're absolutely destroyed. I'm not so. I think it's probably a shove, but well, it's again poker's debate, and I've been out the loop for a few years, haven't I? There's nothing wrong with the shove. There's, in fact, I probably up until now do that 99% of the time. There's no reason for you not. It's a decent shove. So maybe we'll just stop that one there. And again, there's a few spots at Anfield, and you're definitely going the right way. As I say, you need to start thinking a bit more about your turn bets. The thing is with the turn is there's still a card to come, and sometimes it's actually better to wait to the river. It's when all their draws have missed, and then you can get away with it more. But as I said, can't slag you for aggression, totally fine. Some people will never ever have that in their game, and will just never be able to rewire themselves to do it. So if you're being too aggressive, that's good, because we can maybe reel you in a little bit and calm that aggression a bit. So it's all good. Love a lot of this stuff, great, and it's a good learning thing for me again. So we'll see you all for part 3.